I've been living in this rental complex for 6 months. It's a narrow row of houses trapped tightly between two high concrete walls. But no one ever stays in the room at the very end of the passage. The landlord always claims it's just a plumbing issue, that when it rains, water leaks and seeps through the walls and the floor. But last night, during a heavy storm, I walked past that room. I saw dark water leaking out from under their door, flooding the narrow passage. But it wasn't rainwater. It was thick, sticky, and smelled heavily of iron. When I shined my phone flashlight on it, the liquid seeping from the walls was pitch black, like old, dried blood. I used to work as a midnight delivery courier. One night around 3 a.m., my GPS guided me down a narrow, dead-end alleyway that looked exactly like this one, trapped between suffocating concrete walls. The package was for the house at the very end. The lights were completely dead, shrouded in pitch blackness. I walked down the path, the sound of my own footsteps echoing heavily. I left the package at the door, took a photo for confirmation, and turned around to leave. That's when my phone buzzed. It was a message from the customer. It read, "That's not my house. I moved out a year ago because of the things living in that dark alley. Look up at the roof right now." I didn't look up. I just ran. Driving home late at night is always a psychological test. Last week, around 2 a.m., I was driving through a secluded narrow street flanked by high walls. The atmosphere was completely dead. Suddenly, my car felt noticeably heavier, as if the engine was straining. I glanced at my rear-view mirror. In the pitch-black back seat, the silhouette of a person was sitting perfectly still. Her hair was draped forward, completely covering her face. She wasn't moving. She wasn't breathing. My heart stopped. I kept my eyes fixed on the road ahead, praying, refusing to look back at the mirror. When I finally reached the bright lights of a main highway, I looked back. The seat was empty, but the leather seat was soaking wet and smelled like rotten river water. My bedroom window faces a narrow, dark gap between my house and the neighbor's wall. It's a space so tight that no human could possibly fit inside. For weeks, every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., I would hear a soft, rhythmic scratching sound on the glass. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I tried to convince myself it was just a stray cat or tree branches, but last night, I finally gathered the courage to turn on my phone flashlight and shine it directly through the glass. Pressed tightly against the window pane was a face. It had no eyelids, and its skin was stretched impossibly tight over its skull, smiling widely at me. It wasn't standing on the ground. My room is on the second floor. If you ever find yourself awake at 3 a.m. and you hear someone whispering your name from the dark alley outside your house, do not answer. And more importantly, do not look outside. Last night I heard my mother's voice calling me from the narrow passage right outside my front door. She sounded desperate, crying for help. I almost turned the doorknob. But then my phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a text message from my mother. It said, "I'm staying at your aunt's house tonight. I won't be home until tomorrow. Make sure you lock all the doors." My blood ran cold. The voice outside stopped crying. It began to laugh. A distorted, mocking laugh that sounded like it was right against the wood of my door. Some things mimic the people we love to make us open the door. So tell me, what's that noise outside your door right now? Subscribe for more found footage stories. If you dare to sleep tonight.